But is that what's so weird? Because this massive fame, global fame, came to you, but you were just still sitting at home, chatting to your parents, how's it going? And now we're all like wanting a piece of you.
It's just surreal. It's really been like this year that I've experienced it, you know, because last year and I was working all year, and then the year before when the show came out, you know, Normal People, I was at home, so I didn't leave I didn't leave my bedroom. So it's really lovely to be like chatting in person. I'm used to it being on a laptop.
And it must be strange because everyone does want to talk about something that you did years ago at this stage. Like it came out, you filmed it pre-pandemic when you could chat to everyone and hug everyone. So like, does it feel like you're suspended in that moment in time a little bit about Normal People?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I haven't been back to Dublin since I filmed. We reshot the end scene of that show at the start of 2020, and that's the last time. And I actually lived really near where we are right now, so it's been really lovely coming back, and I felt very nostalgic. Like, you know, I loved filming here, and it's such a big important part of my life. So yeah.
With it having happened so overnight, like you must talk to some mates from the National Youth Theatre and they're like, what the hell is instant fame like?
Yeah, and my experience of that, if that even was what it was kind of so unique too, because it was during a time where we weren't able to leave our house because of COVID, and also, you know, like it was just all kind of us experiencing it online, you know. And I wonder if COVID had something to do with why the show was so immediately, I guess, popular, because people didn't have anything else to do other than sit at home and watch telly, you know.
Absolutely not true. It was unbelievable. It made me cry in ways that I didn't think were possible. So there's that. But I suppose you do have, and I know people you like almost broke the internet, people seeing you and Paul Mescal together at Coachella. They're so invested in you being friends. But I suppose you did experience this together, so you do know what you're going through.
Yes, that's the thing. And I think also for us both, it was our first time playing lead parts, and such a sort of formative experience. And it was almost like our uni years. You know, I think I'd just turned 21. You know, Paul was we were so young, and it really does feel like our uni experience. So it's nice being able to have each other and help each other navigate the madness and strangeness of it all, you know.
And since all that, you know, you've gone on, you've done Fresh, and you've done Under the Banner of Heaven, unbelievable true crime series, and next thing you're taking on Where the Crawdads Sing. So what drew you to Kaya?
Well, I think Kaya is she's a very enigmatic character, and I think there's a bit of Kaya in all of us, I feel. And what I like about her is that she is sort of pigeonholed into this one place by the people around her, but she's very different to what they think, and she has such kind of resilience and suffers a lot of knockbacks through her life, and despite that is able to kind of survive and thrive in a very hostile environment. And I just found it exciting to take on another literary role that I loved, you know, with a complex woman at the forefront of the story.
This is the thing. I'm like, is this your benchmark now? Has it been a worldwide smash of a book? Yeah, I'll totally do it, because like millions of people have read Edgar-Jones' book. Had you read it before the part came up?
So I read it. It was strange because it was very similar to my experience of the year prior auditioning for Normal People, in the sense that I was filming on a show called War of the Worlds when I did that, which was like a sci-fi show. So I was on a spaceship reading the book. Yeah, which was an odd experience because they're very different environments.
So Where the Crawdads Sing, this movie is so incredibly moving, because Kaya is also like literally an outsider and very much emotionally an outsider, and there's so much that's wrapped up in this. But how was it for you filming? Like outside New Orleans, swamp, alligator, like there were alligators. How did you not just slap your face when mosquitoes were coming up to you in the middle of a scene?
It was very funny because there were some scenes where I had to do just lots of like looking and concerned looking at things, but then there'd be like of a mosquito in your ear, and you'd be like trying not to react to it. It was definitely, I mean, it's one of the things I'm really proud of in this film is that Polly, our cinematographer, she captured that environment so beautifully. And for me, I'd only ever read about it in books. I'd never been there. So to actually see it and film on location, not film in a soundstage where we were having to imagine everything, was so special. And it really helped to kind of get into the character and get into her world.
And then having Reese Witherspoon, of course, is one of the co-producers, and she said of you, she described you as being a once-in-a-lifetime talent, that you can morph yourself into so many different characters. kind of nice from Reese Witherspoon, isn't it?
Very nice for Reece, yeah.
Thanks, Reese. Cheers.
Thank you, Reece, yeah.
Like, you've won an Oscar. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, sure. I'm such a fan of Reece, and I grew up watching Reece's films, and I think what she's doing with Hello Sunshine, her production company, is so important. She really, for us on this job, this is a story sort of arguably about female empowerment, and all of the heads of department on this job were women. So she was putting women at the sort of forefront of leadership roles, and empowering them behind the camera as well as in front of it. So she's a very cool lady.
Yeah, it's certainly, Kaya's a character, as you said, that someone has something, everyone can relate to something, but the accent. Like, everyone has seen you now from, your English accent to managing a southern accent in the US and the Irish accent, which I'm sure Nicole Kidman would like some pointers on it from you someday. Is this just a natural thing that you have in your ear?
I wonder, I grew up with accents in my house. My dad's Scottish, my mum's from the north of Ireland. So I had and then I grew up in North London, which is a mixture of accents. So I think I did have an advantage there that I've always had it in my ear, but I'm terrible. If I'm speaking to somebody with an accent, I'll start to accidentally do it back to them. So it's, which is not a good trait. But yeah, I think I am lucky that I had the sound a little bit in my head.
Oh God, I wish I had a proper Cork or Limerick accent on here now so that we can really get it going for you, Daisy Edgar-Jones. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.